In the desolate expanse, a man finds himself at the brink. So thirsty. He licks his lips discontentedly. Is this how it ends? Dying here? Suddenly, a pool of water appears. He rushes over, drinks eagerly, thinking he's saved. Yet, after drinking, he spits out a bloody tooth. Panic sets in, and his hand oozes blood. Regaining awareness, he mutters, "Who am I? Why am I wandering around, dying alone?" His body begins to melt, and in desperation, a voice echoes in his mind. "If there's something you desire, what would you do?" Trembling, he curls up, pleading, "I know I was wrong. Please, help me." Mag. A pleasant female voice chimes in. "If you are still asleep, obvious to your master's arrival, then there's no choice but to punish you." Mag lifts his eyes, facing a woman with beautiful silver blonde hair. It was just a nightmare. He remains on his knees, tears glistening in his golden eyes, pitifully kissing the woman's shoes. "Lady Lena, please save this wretched soul." Originally a prince, the man has become the pawn of a woman named Lena. Mag relies heavily on Lena, finding both heaven and hell rest in her hands. Usually, Mag would kiss her shoes to please her. However, today feels different. Lena doesn't touch him as usual. Instead, she silently watches, instilling fear in Mag akin to descending into hell. Tearfully, he questions Lena. Still, Lena remains silent, inquiring about his age as she is a stranger to him. She hands him a vial of green liquid, saying, "Drink this. I am not feeling well, so I'll be leaving now." The sudden coldness jolts Mag's heart. "Are you leaving? Why don't you praise me as the beautiful and cute beast like before? Lena, is it that you no longer need me?" Lena sighs, explaining, "No, it's the antidote to counteract the poison you ingested." With that, she turns and leaves. However, Mag remains perplexed. Despite his efforts for Lena's affection, does she no longer require him? Back at the Marquis's mansion, Lena instructs the maids not to disturb her. Alone in her room, she reflects on the day. "Since I've given him the antidote, he won't be having nightmares anymore. Magnus informed me that, as a beast, he is now 2 years old. In the original story, he became Ileana's beast at the age of 20, making him 22 now. Therefore, as Ileana, I am 23. According to the original plot, I will be executed in 5 years." Our protagonist found herself transmigrated into her favorite novel due to an email from the author, becoming the villainous Ileana. The story unfolds as Ileana tames a youth to be her exclusive beast, using forbidden substances and her unique dream manipulation abilities to cruelly destroy his mental world. Unexpectedly, he breaks free, falls in love with another woman, finds redemption, and returns from a beast to a human, reclaiming his throne and making the woman who saved him his queen. After, he tormented Ileana, plunges into a fate worse than death. This novel has fully captivated our protagonist's attention, however, rather than the developments between the main characters in the novel. Our protagonist is more curious about the emotions that the villainous Ileana experienced. What kind of feelings does Ileana have for the main character Magnus? Why did he choose such a method of revenge? What exactly is their relationship? These questions linger in our protagonist's mind. She emailed the author, and soon, excitedly opened her phone to find a reply. "I don't know either. If possible, could this reader show me an alternative version?" With her response, "I'm willing," our protagonist, upon opening her eyes, has become the Marquis's daughter in the novel, the villainous Ileana Glane. Regret is now too late. Our protagonist now must not only change her destiny, but also find a way back to the real world. Otherwise, she'll be trapped in the villainess's body, enduring the torment upon Magnus reclaiming the throne. Without the original's memories, everything here is unfamiliar, and at any moment, she is at risk of being discovered that she is not the original Ileana. Although she read the novel before the transmigration, she only remembers the general storyline. Many details were not written in the book. Now, our protagonist helplessly listens as the maid narrates the events of the day, preparing for a tea party with an unknown noble. She immediately decides to cancel today's plans. Exhaustion sets in. All she wants now is a good bath to relax. The maids, as usual, prepare the water, help Ileana change, and arrange her beautiful silver hair. This treatment, however, makes our protagonist slightly uncomfortable since, before the transmigration, she had never enjoyed such privileges. What surprises her even more during the bath is the discovery that Ileana's body is covered in bruises and scars, possibly from domestic abuse. In this world, it seems Ileana can't even guarantee her own safety. But the immediate concern is to rescue the male lead, to restore him to a state of physical and mental health, and then send him back to the palace. So, Ileana discreetly instructs her maid to find someone knowledgeable in pharmacology and discreet in speech. The next day, Ileana arrives at the dark cell where the male lead is imprisoned. Mag immediately kneels in greeting. "Welcome, Miss Lena." Lena quickly helps him up, telling him he doesn't need to kneel before her. Little did she know Mag, upon hearing this, trembles in fear. His joyful smile turns into a face full of tears. He kneels before Lena, repeatedly begging for mercy, pitifully crying, "Lena, if I've made a mistake, I'll reflect on my behavior. Please don't abandon me." Our protagonist feels helpless. It seems the original Lena has completely subdued him. The villainess had administered a poison called Ray, tortured him using her dream manipulation ability, destroyed his mind, turning him into her complete slave. She even gave him the nickname Mag, and she is referred to as Lena. However, as our protagonist transmigrated, not being the real Lena, she couldn't use the dream manipulation ability. Also, in a panic upon arrival, she gave Mag the antidote out of pity. However, having been poisoned for 2 years, that single vial couldn't fully restore him. Lena can only gently stroke his head, calming him down, and softly says, "It's not that I will abandon you, but I have new secret orders for you. I've brought someone to examine you. Close your eyes and sit on the bed obediently." Mag finally shows a relieved smile, obediently saying, "Okay, Lady Lena." Lena then turns to the door, signaling the physician to enter. A cloaked, stern-looking bald man walks in. The physician examines Mag, and Lena tells him to keep his eyes closed, as Mag's golden eyes are a distinctive feature of the imperial family. After the examination, Lena plans to leave, but Mag suddenly kneels in front of her, crying, "I kept my eyes closed the whole time, letting others touch me. Is it because I didn't behave like a dog that you don't want me anymore?" Lena quickly comforts him. "Mag, you've done nothing wrong. You did well. Rest well today." Lena says with a hint of pain, "Mag became like this because of Ileana's past mistakes." Hearing this, Mag looks crestfallen, like an abandoned puppy. Lena can't bear it and reaches out to pat Mag's head, running her fingers through his hair and brushing his cheek. Feeling the gentle touch on his cheek, Mag nuzzles Lena's hand affectionately. Lena, startled by her sudden actions, hastily turns and runs away, leaving behind a disappointed Mag watching her go. After leaving the dark cell, Lena quickly asks about Mag's condition. The physician informs her that Mag is poisoned with a substance called Ray and has developed an addiction. Hearing this, Lena thinks to herself, "Looks like I found the right person." The physician continues, explaining that Ray was originally designed to tame slaves, and prolonged usage could cause the user to lose their reasoning. Fortunately, the tamer seems to have controlled the amount very well, and Mag's condition isn't too severe. With continuous administration of the antidote and a gradual reduction in Ray's dosage, the toxins within him could be cleared in about 6 months. However, at that point, the patient would face the greatest challenge, a mental struggle between self-awareness and a slave mentality. Lena isn't concerned at all. She knows from the original story that Mag managed to escape solely through his own strength. It was evident that his self-awareness was resilient enough. Lena orders the physician to prepare 6 months' worth of antidote and says, "I will give you 50 gold bars if he's healed perfectly. However, this fact must not be leaked to anyone. If there's even a small wind of this, I will ruin your future by any means necessary." The physician assures her of secrecy, and Lena, satisfied, leaves. However, she immediately trembles with lingering fear. That wasn't her usual way of speaking. It was an instinct of this body, like when she initially just wanted to pat Mag's head. but her hand unconsciously caressed his face. Lena decides to remove the toxins from Mag as soon as possible, then ensure to send him back to the Imperial City within 2 years. But before that, she needs to safeguard her own life, so Lena orders the coachman to take her to the temple. Early the next morning, the carriage stops in front of the Grand Regneba Temple. Lena's arrival draws a crowd, and everyone speculates why a noble lady would visit the temple. Lena intentionally portrays herself as a devout religious person. In contrast to the genuine nature of the original Ileana, the public hold a high opinion of this noble lady, deeming her kind and gentle. However, Lena is well aware that this is merely a facade deliberately crafted by the original Ileana. The true Ileana possesses a typical antisocial personality. Yet, Lena can't criticize the original owner, considering her own motives for visiting the temple aren't rooted in genuine religious fervor. Lena's interest lays in the Regneba Temple, being the Empire's sole independent institution, impervious even to the Emperor's influence. Becoming a temple follower is her strategy to navigate through potential troubles and escape the fate of retaliation by the prince. Following a temple priest to the prayer chamber, Lena receives a discreet introduction to donations. The priest remarks, "Contributions are voluntary. Give as your heart desires. Those reaching a certain amount will receive a certificate of religion." Money is insignificant compared to life, and Lena, as the Marquis's only daughter, is abundantly wealthy. Without hesitation, she presents a gold bar as a donation to the temple. The priest is astounded, exclaiming at the unexpected arrival of a major client. Kneeling devoutly, he begins to pray, thanking the divine for guiding this generous benefactor. Lena is then handed a temporary certificate of religion, as the official one takes a week to process. Armed with the temporary certificate, Lena gains free access to any facility within the temple. Guided by the priest, Lena closes her eyes to pray. Despite her personal skepticism, she can't help but silently plead, "Please let the events unfold the way I want them to. As expected, I want to go back." The next moment, she can't help but shudder. However, to swiftly return Mag to the palace, Lena forces down the eerie sensation. Immediately leaving the temple, she orders the servant to deliver some books to the dark cell where Mag is imprisoned, instructing the servants repeatedly to keep everything hush-hush. Her actions aim to deepen Mag's understanding of this world, ensuring a smooth escape. Unaware of Lena's efforts, the small dark room becomes a place of torment for Mag. Believing Lena has abandoned him, he kneels in agony, tears streaming down his face, and cries out, "Lady Lena, what did I do wrong? Why leave me alone here?" In the early morning, the maid counts the books on the shelf, muttering to herself, "There's something strange about the bookshelf in the Mrs. study. Some books disappeared, but when I double-checked, they were back in their original places." Other maids try to console her. "Maybe the lady took a look at them?" "How is that possible? The lady can't possibly read 10 books at once," she replies. What the maids don't know is that Lena has been doing this for a week. "It's been a week, and I only give books to Mag without looking at him," Lena thinks. Smart Mag should quickly realize how abnormal his situation is. Lena's actions have their reasons. After all, in the original novel, Magus relied on Ileana's books to understand the world and plan his escape. Lena is just advancing this process. Besides caring for Mag, Lena also needs to ensure her safety. After witnessing her own heavily scarred body during the last bath, indicating domestic violence, Lena knows her home is not safe. Just as these thoughts occupy her mind, a maid rushes in to inform Lena that the Marquis and his wife have returned from inspecting the estate and plan to have dinner with her tonight. Lena, hearing this, can't control the trembling in her hands. The maids naturally help her remove all her jewelry, claiming it might make her feel a bit better. Lena feels their sympathetic gazes, and an instinctive fear creeps through her body. Nothing in the books mentions Ileana Glaine's interaction with the Marquis couple. This fear is instinctive to this body, Lena realizes. Despite her fear, she must check on Mag's condition today. Lena endures the churning fear and orders servants to prepare the carriage. On the way out, she encounters the Marquess, who coldly inquires about her destination. Lena uses the temple as an excuse, and her father coldly remarks, "Your behavior is truly unsuitable." He informs her they'll dine together tonight and warns her not to be late. "You should be aware, I detest tardiness the most." Hearing that, Lena responds respectfully, "I always keep that in mind." She speaks so fearful that she doesn't dare to take a breath. After sending her father away, Lena, suppressing her fear, prepares to depart. Once inside the carriage and ensuring no one can see, she breaks down in silent tears. Her hands and feet are ice cold, her body trembles incessantly, and she feels nauseous. This isn't her reaction, it's the body's instinct under extreme fear. Lena, curled up helplessly, murmurs, "Ileana Glane, what happened to you?" Exhausted, Lena just wants to return to her original world, free from responsibilities she never undertook and emotions she didn't earn. She wants to loudly tell Mag that he is free. Along the way, with these thoughts, Lena arrives at the door of the small dark room. Pushing it open, before her eyes can adjust to the darkness, suddenly, warmth and softness on her lips. Mag tightly embraces Lena, as if wanting to meld her into his body, kissing her passionately.